Welcome to Relax and Chat, episode 42. Today we have a really special guest, sci-fi and fantasy writer and YouTube sensation, Mike Mollman. How you doing today, Mike?
Woohoo! I'm just excited that I'm at episode 42 so we can talk about life, the universe, and everything.
Yeah, I'm expecting a fun show. I will jump right into the questions. I use a program that gives me about a half an hour. This one's pretty fun. Um, I've got a good friend on Twitter, Saffron Asteria. She owns Idiosyncrasy, and you know that, and probably most of the audience knows that. She's a fantastic person. And I saw
She
that
is,
she was
really
gonna,
is.
yeah, and I saw that she was going to guest on a show that I hadn't heard of. So I was like, I'll check it out. Well, it happened to be your show, Creature Creations.
Yep.
I can't remember the last time that I laughed so hard watching a YouTube video. That was hilarious. And then soon after that, I saw your awesome interview with Ellen Holmes. Fantastic interview. And I am a huge fan already. But to the members of the audience, if there are a few, let's see, 6,000. Oh, there's two people right there that might not have caught both of those shows. Maybe tell us a little bit about your YouTube show, Balding Balding.
So Balding started because Ro and I had met at a Comic-Con, and he's like, we always get here like at 8 a.m. The show doesn't start till 10, and you just wander around talking from table to table. Like, do you think today's going to be good at sales? I think, and no one has the answer, but you just wish it into existence. He's like, we could actually use this time constructively. Why don't we start a YouTube channel? We can interview people during this dead time, edit it, put it online, start our own channel, have all the riches that come with YouTube. And and I looked at him, I was like, you know what? The last thing I need is to bite off something else. I don't know anything about video editing. I don't really want to learn. I don't have the time. And he just looks at me and goes, do you ever listen to me when I talk? I was in the Air Force for 23 years in media relations, where I edited video and interviewed people. Since I got out, I worked at the VA where I do media relations. I'm in media relations. I've done it for 30 years. I will edit all the videos. I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, you did tell me that. So I was like, sure, let's do it. So we did probably 17 shows where we interviewed people and then edited and all that. And then after that, we're like, well, let's try a live show. And we did one live show. And after it was over, we just looked at each other. It's like, we're just doing live from now on. It's so much easier. There's no editing. Once you're done, you're done. And he's like, yes. So since then, we've done nothing but live shows. We've done almost 300 live shows now. Not quite, but close. We've been doing it for 2.5 years now. And we finally broke 500 subscribers. Yay!
Hey.
Uh, so,
Hey,
but
that
yeah,
is an
it's a lot of fun.
yeah, but that is an accomplishment. 500 subscribers is cool. I'm nowhere near that, and I've had my show for I don't know 3 or 4 years. But I will say this though, I have heard, and it takes a while, but I have heard that when you reach a certain point, a number of followers and a number of watched hours, I've actually
Yeah.
heard YouTube pays you pretty well. So, you may not be there right now, but don't be surprised if you get there. Your show's bound to be super popular. You know.
So, I mean, I talked to another booktuber, and he's like, "Well, I have 5,000 subscribers now. I think he's up to 9, but at the time it was 5." He goes, "I do 4 long form videos every week. I do 3, short form." He goes, "And every quarter I get about $22." He
Wow.
goes, he goes. So I mean, 5,000 is still tiny. I mean, YouTube will send you the plaque when you get to 100,000 followers. You
Mhm.
know, 200 times what we have now. So, so, yeah, I mean, at that level, then absolutely. I mean, I've seen then you can be a booktuber, and that's your job because you're making enough that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I don't know that we will ever get there that we're monetized and get money, but if we
Uh-huh.
do, I mean, it's
Yeah.
not going to be much. But I do it. I love talking to other authors. It's fun to commiserate. You learn things that you wouldn't have guessed otherwise.
Mhm.
Um, and we always like, okay, if we're going to have Rod Gilley on our show, we're going to talk about what it's like to have a press.
Mhm.
We're going to talk about this, and so you're always learning, and everyone else is learning too. And it helps the community, and you get to make friends, and
Uh,
so that's why we do it. We just
yeah. Yeah, I feel for your friend. $22 for all that work. Well, hell, he might as well be a writer.
yeah, uh,
But yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, like I said, my channel is very small. Uh,
yeah,
Pretty much all of my businesses still would be considered small. But what followers I do have, they're very friendly and very welcoming and very nice to me, and I feel at home in the writing community. It's a
yep.
wonderful place. And so before I go on a tangent that lasts 20 minutes, I better jump to the next question. All right. I saw this question and I'm going to read it so I get it correct. Or not a question,
Okay.
I'm sorry. I saw this statement, but this was really something. This book is hilarious. It's fast paced, full of humor, sarcasm, and a little of, how should I put it, crazy. Of course, this is in reference to your book, Proxima Station. So, what do you say?
Yeah.
Tell us about your book.
So Proxima Station is a fever dream. Um, in April of this year, I until April of this year, I had no idea I was going to write this. It was not, anywhere.
Uh-huh.
And then I just started, and I was like, you know what? Maybe just write something short. Uh, I've had 5 dogs in my life, so I'm like, I'm going to have 5 aliens based on all the idiosyncrasies of my 5 dogs. Will be the 5 races.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, and then I was like, and man has to become dog's best friend. That's
Mhm.
going to be the thrust of the book. And then I
Uh-huh.
just kind of started, and it built and it built. And the one thing that I did it 2 reasons. One, because I have a lot of friends now in the community because they've come on our show. And two, I figure if I include them in the book, they'll have to buy it. So, guaranteeing some sales. So I actually have a bingo card of authors in the community who I, tuckerized in the book. And so, and it was just, I'm like, I'm putting you in there using your name. Okay, great. And nobody asked any questions. And poor Tim Wolf, who is about the nicest person in the world, but writes really dark stuff. He's my antagonist, and he's the lamest antagonist there is. Because when I started writing, I was like, I'm going to do cozy. So, no sex, no violence, no swearing. And then I was like, I can't quite get away with cozy. I have to, injure my characters because I just do. So it's light and it's humorous, but he is the lamest bad guy, and I'm like, I am so sorry. You deserve so much better than this, but I'm going with it. And the whole reason
Well,
I chose him is Tim Wolf. I'm like, did anyone ever call you Timberwolf growing up? He's like, no, I've never heard that. I'm like, okay, well, that's going to be the nickname that, the ladies call you at pillow talk time. He's like, okay, what are you writing? So,
now there's a great way to build an audience of readers.
yeah, put them
Yeah,
in your book.
yeah, put them in your book and give them something that scares the hell out of them.
So,
Yeah.
so the next book is going to be like the Iliad is going to be, and he spoke to Rod Gilley, who was the friend of, and the friend of, and in the, and I can list like, hundreds of people. Yeah, that's my next marketing pitch is what I'm going to try is that.
Worth a try. Anything is worth a try in marketing.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think your book sounds fantastic. Of course, I'll have a link to it down in the description. Of course, it'll be on my TBR. I will be honest, my work hours and my TBR are not friends, but
Yeah.
but I will get to reading it. It sounds really great. I mean, after seeing a couple of your shows, for someone to say that your story is hilarious, oh yeah, that fits. It's
And a little crazy.
yeah, and just plain fun.
Yeah.
And a lot of writers get way too serious, take themselves too seriously, and it's actually a big plus to the writing community that you bring so much fun, on your show and now in your book. And you've written several books before. You've got what, about 7 books published?
6 books.
6 books published, yeah.
Yep.
And I'll link to them down in the description, and our audience can get on there and check it out. But definitely, Proxima Station is something I think everybody's going to want to read. Just from that one, you really should try to figure out a way to put that review that I read right on the cover of your book. I mean, it's a fantastic review.
But when I pitch it at live events, I tell people it's Star Trek meets Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, the perfect.
And I'm like, you either want it or you don't. After I tell you that, I'm like, you can read the back cover if you want, but this is what you're signing up for. So,
Well, I also saw, and I'm not entirely sure about this. I personally don't know much about it. Maybe you can tell us a little bit. But Proxima Station is in Sphinx, the speculative fiction indie novella championship. And they're cutting their original titles to 25 by December 20th. A little bit of research. So, if you would, please tell us a little bit about Sphinx and what it would mean to you to win that championship.
oh, well, first, I'm not going to win, and that's fine. I don't actually sign up to the competitions to try to win. It's more I want to network. I want to meet other authors. I want guests for our show. There's other benefits to being on there. Um, but this is actually the third of these writing competitions for my Becoming a Druid. I entered Spiffbo, which is the self-published fantasy blog off, which was the one that really started the whole indie competition thing.
Mhm.
I did the sci-fi version, the Space Bow, last year, and then this they sometimes call this the Baby Bow. This is a third year for Sphinx. It's just for short form novella content. You go in, they have 100 people. First 100 get their books in. 5 groups read it. They read 20 each. They pick 5 for the semifinals and move on. It's it's kind of wonderful. I don't understand these judges and where they find the time to do this. Um, but I mean, it's not about winning. They Even if they don't like your book, say, you know what, this book is not for me. This is not the form, what I like. However, the characterization was great. The storytelling was, so they're very complimentary. They give you feedback, but they're not like this book sucked. So you get feedback, which is, I mean, honestly, to me, I want the honest feedback more than anything than a 5-star review, because I don't know about you, I don't read 5-star reviews because I'm like, okay, this person, either they absolutely loved it and I'm not them, so what is it going to mean to me, or else they're friends,
Yeah,
and I'm like, or they're swept away by the euphoria of other people saying how great it is. So I look at the 4, the 3, the 2s. These are where you get information
yeah.
about the book. So that's really what I want. I want 5-star reviews, but you know, when
Yeah,
I'm looking for books, I read the other ones. Like, if this turns you off, maybe that's not a turn off for me. Maybe I really like it. So,
yeah.
and you get real feedback, and that's the important thing.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. Your attitude and your goals, your thoughts about Sphinx. I'm a gambling man. I'd put my money on you to win it just because you're not trying to.
Well, I mean, I'm writing humor, and you know what they say, humor is hard.
Yeah,
So if it's not your brand of humor, then you're just kind of like, well, sorry for you.
yeah.
So I mean, I don't. I also write first person present tense, which will turn some people off.
Mm.
So I have everything against me. I like, that's fine. I'm not. It'd be nice if I made the semifinals. I don't care. I mean, I'm just going. They have a Discord, so you can go talk to the other authors and you know listen to their hopes and dreams and say, well, this is what I've tried. Get some, build a community. Give some advice, take some advice. That's what it's really about. The networking is really. I tell people I won Stiffbow because I went from not knowing anyone in the industry to starting a channel, and now, I mean, like I said before, we've done almost 300 live shows, and we've had over 250 different people on.
Wow.
So these are 250 people. I may have met 4 of them otherwise. So I won Spiffbo because it forced me to network with people and get them to say, hey, they have the same hopes and dreams as me, you know, and they're an introvert, so we can do short conversations because nobody wants to talk for hours. They're introverts. So yeah, that's how you really win. I don't care, because all these, if you win, you get let's see, Spiffbo, you get Dumbledore's magic wand, a replica.
Cool.
Uh, Space Bow, you get a little phaser or like ray gun. And I
Oh,
don't know what Sphinx gives you, if they give you even anything. You might just get a pat on the back.
yeah.
Um, so I mean, you're not. There's no money involved. So there's
Mhm.
no reason to be cutthroat.
Mhm.
So yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a great way to meet people. I know too many authors like, well, I put my books against anyone. I think I'm going to win, and I'm like, okay, well, if there's 100 books, that means you have a 1% chance.
Mhm.
Um, maybe don't count on it.
Yeah. Well, I will say this though. If you are the one who wins this championship, you really must publicly announce that Rod Gilley at RDG Book Press, he called it.
I will absolutely do that. I will have a live show, and I will have you on. And I will say, I don't know, this man must have won the lottery and paid the judges, but hey, whatever. I'm good with that.
Now, I'm curious, I don't know how it works, but can members of the audience vote for you?
No, it's all voluntary. And it's judges. The judges' teams, they get their teams before it starts, and they read 20 novellas. My judging team, there's 4 people, and they said every book will be read by at least 2 of the judges,
Oh,
because you don't want just one person. It really doesn't vibe, and you're out. Maybe the next
yeah.
person loved it, so you will get 2 people to read it. I've had 2 people read mine. One said, not really a sci-fi humor sort of thing. This did make me smirk a couple times, but not really my cup of tea. And the
Mhm.
second one put it on his Goodreads. He put red.
Oh,
So I'm like, okay, I have a review coming soon. I don't know what it's going to say. So yeah, I'm
now,
kind of have the sword dangling over my head right now, going, it's going to fall one of these times.
well, now it's all interpretation.
Yes.
Red could mean you completely blew him away and he was speechless. It could mean that, you
It's
know.
possible. So I mean, it depends on how much you want to stalk your judges. Like I have saved all of their personal web pages, so I can check. Okay, did my book? Nope, book's not there. And I will not say how many times per day I check. It's not a healthy number, but so
Hey everybody, check out It's Dark in Their Minds, RDG Books Press Horror Anthology Trilogy. Volume 1 and Volume 2 are available on our website, rdgbookspress.com, and on amazon.com in both ebook and paperback. Volume 3 is coming in early 2026. So you want to catch up, read the first 2 so you'll be ready for the third and final volume. I hope you enjoy these great short stories.
Well, now, Mike, I want to go back to your book, Proxima Station. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
yep.
I recently had a guest on that had a title of a book that there's no way I could say it right. I got all tongue-tied, and I've been that way ever since. But Proxima Station, I heard the hype. I read the review. I'm excited. I still don't know a whole lot about it. So how about you share a little bit of detail about your book?
The setup is Anthony is a anthropology student who's working towards his PhD, and he gets a call from his major professor, says come in meetings at 7 a.m. Monday morning. And then he's a night owl. He's like, ugh, I finished all my work. I'm just writing up my final thing. Why does he want a meeting this early? It's ungodly. 7 a.m. Wait till you get a real job, buddy. Anyway, so he goes in having no idea. And the guy's like, I just got a letter from the U.S. Space Command saying that they need an anthropologist for national security reasons. I have never heard of national security reasons that involve an anthropologist in my life. What is this? And my main character's like, "Are you joking?" He's like, "No." And here's the letter and shows it. Colonel Janeway. He goes, "Aunt Katie." He's like, "So you do know about this?" He goes, "No, I have no idea." And so they go from that to, well, you're defending your PhD in tomorrow at 10 a.m. So get ready, go. And there will be a military person there in the room watching. And if you fail, you will do it 2 more times because you're getting on a plane on Friday and you're flying out to Nellis Air Force Base. And he's like, "Where's Nellis Air Force?" He goes, "It's near Area 51." He goes, "The alien thing?" He's like, "Yeah." And so, I mean, I this is all in chapter one. I'm telling people. So he, defends. They fly him out there, and then he hops on a spaceship and goes through a wormhole and goes to Proxima Centauri. And they're like, "Yeah, we have 5 aliens. We've been trying to, get with. They let humans join the space station provisionally. We're not making any headway because we're military, and we just keep saying, 'Give us your tech,' and that's apparently not what they want to hear from us. So your job is to go there, make friends with them, and steal all their tech." He's like, "I'm an anthropologist. If they talk about warp cores, I'm not going to know unless it's Star Trek.
Yeah.
So he's like, I totally flummoxed from the get go, and that's my goal is to keep him in that state throughout the entire series. He is always in over his head, and he's always just gasping for his last thing of air, and it's. He's like, "This is ridiculous. Who would have ever, this is what I'm doing now? It's." So he gets a little indignant at certain sport, and he just gets snarky, and no one knows all the things that I say in my head because only 5% or less actually come out.
Mhm.
And I'm like, as I get older, that number is going to keep growing larger. But
Mhm.
so I definitely, whenever I think of something snarky, I'm like, "Yep, Anthony has snark. He can say that." So
Oh, it sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. I'm headed to Amazon. Is it already out or is it in pre-order?
it is already out, and I actually just had the audiobook come out a month and a half ago. So
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. As soon as we wrap it up, I'm heading to Amazon. That's the truth. It sounds fun. It sounds really awesome. And
it
audience,
is completely ridiculous.
there you go, audience. What more do you need? You want to go grab that book. Just for the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and step ahead. This, I think, will be very fascinating, Mike. You do have a really cool YouTube channel. And you've written some books, and this one in particular sounds really awesome. You're very active in the writing community. You're involved with things like Sphinx. I mean, man, you got a lot going on. So I'm sure the audience is on pins and needles to hear anything you have to say to the audience, any advice you want to share, anything about running a YouTube channel or writing. The floor is yours. You can speak as you will.
So, as I think I told you off camera, most of our guests are newish authors. We tend not to do the veterans who have an established because they frankly don't need our channel. And we try to, get the newer writers and tell them, one, don't fixate on this first book of yours because, you will write many, many more. Two, join the community, get involved. You can, commiserate with people when you get that 2-star review and you're like, "I want to complain, but I don't want to put it out on Twitter and get mobbed." Have those friends that you can, they can be like, "Been there, done that. We understand." Network with the other authors and not for the intent of, I networked with Rod. Now he's going to go buy my book. I mean, if you do, that's great. I'm not, that's never my goal.
Mhm.
I just want to, meet other people who are doing what I'm doing. I talk to my two brothers who do not write and they have zero interest in what I do. So if I want to talk about it, I have to find people who do,
Mhm.
and that is the way to go. Network like crazy. It don't go network because you want something. Just network because you want to meet people, and you will get paid back 100-fold. Because you're honest, you're authentic. Most important thing, if you want to have more book sales, be authentic with people and be there to help.
Yeah.
I can't make it say it any simpler than that.
Yeah.
Um,
Great advice. Great advice.
Like me, I'm all kinds of goofy. So when I'm on Twitter, I'm posting goofy things. If you're like, "This guy again," that's fine. We can just coexist. But you'll find the people like, "Hey, this guy's ridiculous. I want to interact with him." And you'll meet other like-minded people because you're your real self. If you're trying to pose as this, that, then you're going to get other people who are posing or else they're very much like that. And you're like, "But that's not you, and it's going to be a chore."
Mhm.
Just be yourself. I mean, it honestly is the best policy.
Yeah.
Um, it's very simple, very old school, but it's also very, very true.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely right. Yeah. As I said, I can't add anything to it. You said it perfectly.
I do Comic Cons with James Maxey,
Uh-huh.
and he's an award-winning short story author. And he's like, there is no one in this country who's getting rich writing short stories. It just doesn't happen. I mean, he just won the Asimov Award this year. He's won the Phobos Award. He's won the biggest awards out there for short stories. And he's like, you do not get rich writing short stories. Absolutely. So, yeah, short stories are hard.
Yeah. Now,
I mean, nobody wants to buy it.
Yeah, as a publisher, I have learned over the time that I've been doing it. Short story collection, impossible to break even, very hard.
Yeah.
Anthology, a little bit better chance. You can do pretty well, but anthologies are expensive to make. Novellas,
Yep.
in my opinion, that's the place to go. Novellas are awesome. And in this day and age, when everybody's so pressed for time, the length of a novella is ideal. Stephen King writes 1,000 page books, I think. I don't have time to read a 1,000 page book, you know?
Right. Yep,
And,
I'm with you.
yeah, so, but well, I think we'll move on. This is very important because I'm sure the audience is on pins and needles waiting for us to get to this. If you would, no, I'm serious. If you would, share any websites you have, any social media contacts. I put all the related links down in the description for my YouTube video, but I share this across all my platforms, and some of them can't see the description. So, verbally saying them, there's a better chance that people will be able to reach out to you. And not only in this show, your appearance here has been wonderful, but if anybody catches your show, the first thought in their mind is, hey, I want to get to know that guy, So I'm sure the audience would love to hear this stuff. So if you don't mind, share whatever you're willing to.
Sure. The main place, if you want to contact me, is probably my Substack page. It's author Mike Mollman, no spaces, at substack.com. I do a monthly newsletter there, and when I get around to reviewing books, I put it there. And if you're an author, I try to do every month. If I go to Comic Cons, I'll write up like, this is what I did, this is what I tried, this worked, this did not, and I try to. Because on Twitter at the end of the month, you get the people like transparency posts, and in the months where they do really well, they're like, look at me, I made $1,200. And then it's crickets for 4 months, and then it's, look at me, I made $800. And I'm like, I just think it just, to me, my taste, it comes across as bragging because you're only doing the good news.
Yeah.
And so I will post on Twitter. I did my write up. It's on my Substack page. Read it or not. I tell you what I did, what worked, what didn't. And I mean, again, I'm going to retire in a year and a half. So, I don't have to have the Netflix series. That's really not what I'm shooting for anymore. It was when I started writing, because I really hated my boss. I have a different one now who I adore. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you know what? I just want to write for fun. So I will tell you exactly what I did. And if you can do it better, great. Just make me an extra when you get your Netflix show. That's all I ask. So I try to be very transparent and say, this worked, this did not, I tell people I wrap my hardback books in the map where the story takes place, and I have a wax seal to make them look nice and pretty. They're right here behind me. Mm-hmm. So it's a great way to sell more hardbacks at Comic Cons if you're going to go that path. I try to help. So that's probably number one. If you want to just contact me directly, author Mike Mollman at gmail.com. I would love to hear from people, writers, readers, whatever. You can never have enough readers. But I would absolutely love to hear from people there. And then if you don't want to do that, or if you just want to catch me on social media, I am Mike_Mollman at both Instagram and on Twitter, which I refuse to call that one letter. It's Twitter. It will always be Twitter. So, I mean, reach out to me. I don't bite. There's usually a screen between us, so I can't, even if I wanted to. I would love to hear more, and if I can help you, I will try to help you.
Oh, fantastic.
So,
yeah. Like I said, I'm sure many in the audience, well, in my little tiny show, we're not talking about a ginormous audience, probably, although you will draw some. But any audience, anywhere, if I was sitting in a coffee shop watching this on a laptop, everyone in the coffee shop would be like, who's that guy, Mike? So letting them know how to reach you is a very good idea. And I'm glad that you took a moment to do that. Just to make sure we don't go black and run out of time, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode. Mike, it's been an absolute pleasure to have a chance to get to know you. A half an hour is not a real long time, but I can't remember the last time I had so much fun and laughed and just plain enjoyed the conversation. Thank you. Thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you. And I want to say that your show is adequately or accurately named. Relax and chat is exactly what do. You're very good at this interviewing thing, and you just put people at ease immediately. So thank you as well.
Oh, well, gee, what a nice thing to say. Gosh. Awesome. Oh boy. Oh, I wish I had about 6 hours. I'd just keep you up all night and maybe we'd have to break out a beer or something. But oh well, I got a wife. I don't know if you do, but my wife would beat me over the head if I work too late. Usually in my 16th hour of work, and I've been there, uh, she'll come in and clock me on the head and say, "That's it, stop." You know? And
Yeah.
so, but yeah, I can't express how grateful I am because you're pretty popular as a writer and a YouTuber. Man, you got it going on, and I can easily see why. And I'm pretty much a nobody from Kentucky with a little tiny YouTube show. Uh,
Oh my God, you're from Kentucky? I'm from Kentucky originally.
oh, you really?
Whereabouts?
Up in northern
Yeah.
Kentucky, I could throw a rock and hit
Yeah.
Cincinnati. Yeah.
Yeah. I grew up in Erlanger.
Oh, did you really? Wow. We
Yeah.
could have been neighbors at a
Where
point. Wow. I think I
where are
really
you at?
remembered meeting you though. So before I mess up, because as I've said many times, I chatter too much. I'm going to go ahead and bring the show to an end. I hope that you'll come again anytime. If you publish another book or you just feel like BSing, you're always welcome on my show. You can pop in anytime you like. Bring a friend, whatever you want. Standing invitation. Seriously, Mike, I've enjoyed talking with you very much.
Yeah, you too, Rod. It's been like I said, relax and chat is accurate name. I'm not going to say adequate. I keep trying to say adequate. It's accurate. It's very accurate. It is more than adequate. Uh,
And to the audience, I hate to do this because I'm sure you don't want to say goodbye to Mike either. But the good news is you can go back and watch this again and way more fun even. Catch Mike's show on YouTube. You're going to love it. It's creature creation. I can't remember the last time I laughed so hard watching a YouTube show. That was hilarious. How did you come up with that? That was freaking awesome.
uh,
I
I I just I don't know. I thought it'd be a good way to have fun, and I the secret sauce is I try to do it on Friday nights so that people can imbibe a little,
Hmm.
and that just makes everything flow a little easier.
Uh-huh.
And I've liked every one I've done, but if you see the one where I had six Aussies, oh my God, I had to stop. I'm like, okay, you have to define that term. I do not know that term. It was just wild. I got up at 7 a.m. All that early in the morning to interview them. So it was 9 o'clock their time p.m. so that they could have their alcohol, and it
Wow.
was totally worth it. It was wild.
Wow.
So
I've got a lot of catching up to do to catch all your shows. I will catch them as much as I can because what I've seen so far, I absolutely love. I mean, you've got a natural personality for YouTube, TV, whatever. But you need to be out there speaking to the world because you're good at it. You're damn good at it. And I'll definitely be popping in your shows and saying hi from the audience. I'll be right there. And if I can find a way to sneak in the back door, I'll get on your show. It's right.
oh, next month in January, we'll have people lining up, in virtual queues to see what you have to say.
Uh,
Um,
well, I can always talk. I hope I can say something worthwhile once in a while, but I can at least chatter. Ladies and gentlemen, I hate to do it, but I really do got to wrap it up because otherwise the screen will just plain go black on me. And I don't want to do that to Mike. He deserves more respect than that. But I can't control this free program that I use. So I usually will say, I hope you enjoyed today's show, but I can't imagine anybody that didn't. I think the Wicked Witch of the West would be laughing right now, having a ball. Mike, you're incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Such a pleasure to have you. Episode 42 must come to an end. I hope you'll join me for the next show, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank you.
Mhm.